Right viewers, back off my holidays from Wales. Just had a fortnight of rain. I'd be lying if I said it rained for a full fortnight. We did have 3 good days, 2 not so bad days. The rest of the time it rained. So we've come back to a line full of washing. It must have been raining here because dandelions have gone mad in our garden. As far as I can see, as grass has turned into dandelions, which are dandelions to anybody else. Right, we're back on with van. When I was looking at it, one at heater plugs were buggered on end. That thread were knackered on top. So I've ordered another one. Word of advice: if you're buying heater plugs, don't buy cheap copies, buy good quality ones. I'm just going to give this one a try now, make sure it's working alright. Let's see that. So I've just got a normal power pack. I'm going to grip body of that, grip body without touching electrode in negative terminal, and then just going to touch positive side, and hopefully end should glow red when you're ready. There you go, nice bright orange. So that one's a worker. I mean, other one worked, we just both threads were full board on it. So we'll let that cool down, then we'll fit that. Problem with cheap fake ones is these aren't so bad because hole what thread goes in is quite a bigger diameter than electrode. But on some of these longer ones, like on Mercedes Vitos, they're a nightmare, and it's only a long spindly electrode. And if you buy cheap copies, end of that mushrooms over like that. And when you come to take them out, it gets jammed in all what it pokes through, and then when you pull it out it snaps, and then you've got to take cylinder head off. And that's a story you don't want to get involved with, and I'm speaking from experience, so I'm not falling for that game again. Right, other thing is, I'll show you on van. On diesel engine in here, the one of mine what were knackered was that one. But that one's pretty easy to get to, so I'm not going to put brand new one in there. But when pumps fitted, because pump sits here, that heater plug's a nightmare to get to. Them two aren't so bad. That one's dead easy, but that one's a cow. So that one I'm going to put brand new one in there, and I'm going to put used ones in other one. So bear with me while I crack on with that. Right then, so that's them fitted. So that's brand new one with brass top, which, as you can see, I've put in hole number 3, I think, because that's the hardest one to get to when pumps fitted. Them two are standard ones, and that was the one that was shot, but we've replaced that with number 3 and put brand new one in number 3, and number 3 now sits in number 4. So somewhere there should be a here we go. This is just a saddle bracket what gives you power to all of them. That goes under there. sits on there. That just transfers the electrical current to all of them. So that goes on there, and that's your power supply to feed them. So now all I've got to do is find out nuts off top of them, which I've took off. Ah, there they are. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not like me, putting them somewhere sensible. Right, I'll stick them on and I'll see you shortly. Right, I've just had a clean up with wire wheel. Them things are absolutely lethal. While ever you're using these, pieces of wire will fly off, and they're coming out at an incredible speed. I mean, I've had to put this one in there. I've just been pulling it. It's my own fault wearing bloody shorts, but if you look there, you finish up with these. That's why I'm wearing these sexy over glasses. I need my glasses because I can't see, and these over glasses, you just need them, otherwise them wire wheels will just kill you. Right, I've cleaned up here because we at panel mounts, them 3 spots where I'd put text screws, it's actually just held in with panel adhesive. So I've cleaned old panel adhesive off of them with wire wheel. I've gone along here with wire wheel. Like I said, I can't emphasise enough how much health and safety you have to when you're using them wire wheels, because they're absolutely lethal. I've gone across here with wire wheel and I've found a couple of holes what need addressing. So that needs doing. There's a hole there, and another one there, and another one there. So but other than that, it looked a lot worse than it were, because once you start to rust you get all this. But now I've cleaned this bike, bits I'm not going to get into, I'm going to have to spray with zinc primer, and just to protect it, because we've got some more rain promised. But yeah, it's all cleaning up nicely, ready for new panels going on. I can't make my mind up what's happening with weather. One minute it's threatening to rain, and next minute it's that big orange thing in the sky here what none of us is used to seeing. So that door's going to have to come off again. It's been on and off more times than Parson preached about, but it's going to come off again, and then I can start getting some panels in. So I'm going to call that it for a bit, and I'll fetch your bike later on if that wire wheel ain't killed. Right, door's back off again. Sorry about noise outside, next door neighbours having some work done. But what I've done with that panel, what I'm going to fit, I've given it 2 coats at Isopon Zinc 182 rust inhibiting primer. You go through this like there's no tomorrow, but it's really good thick primer. Brush it on. I've given it 2 coats. It dries really quick, and it's a drop of good stuff. But I've left 3 spots where I forget what they call it now, but panel adhesive, that's right. That's where panel adhesive's going to go, in them 3 spots. But a few spots of rain here. But that primer, I mean, we all know how quick these panels rust through, so that should just get a bit of extra longevity. I've cleaned all that up where it's going to be spot welded in. There's a few oils there where previous owners drilled old panel out. It's gone a bit cack-handed and it's gone all the way through. but I shall weld them up first, and we'll crack on and getting this this panel in. They're up there, panel adhesive wear. So yeah, bit of forward progress. I'll get back to you in a bit. Sorry about wind and noise from neighbours, but I can't do out about that. But see you shortly. Well, I've just about got all them panels mocked up now. They all need welding in now, but what an epic job that we're trying to make these fit. I've got to punch some holes in here to spot weld that in there, but more or less now that panel, there's 3 panels there obviously, that one, that bottom quarter there, that one was a cheap and nasty panel, so that was not easy to fit. That was a cheap wing, 50 quid I think it was, something like that. That were a nightmare from hell. That one, that panel from Schofield's, is a lot thicker than other panels, and it fitted virtually straight out of the box. Little bit of jiggery pokery, but all in all, I don't think it's come out too bad. Try to get all my lines right. Worst ones to line up are this, because that's your body moulding. You've got to get them to line up. That seam there don't go into that back panel, so that's not an issue. But that seam there is, I don't know if you can make this out, but that's spot on. More or less, we're just ready for a weldathon now. It's going to be a slow, tedious job because all this here, it's all got to be just spot welded, one spot at a time. Spot here, spot here, spot here. It's going to be fun. But anybody who thinks this is a quick and easy job, and you wonder why body shops charge so much just to get them 3 panels mocked up in a somewhat like reasonable fit, there's 6 hours work there. Now you'll go to a garage, and when they're talking about 60 quid an hour labour, they're not even welded in yet. But that's probably just because I'm crap, but it's only an hobby to me. But yeah, anyway, we're starting to see progress, and once these are in, we might be somewhat like watertight. So right, I'll come back to you. God knows when it'll be, when I've got this welded in, because it's not going to be a 5-minute job. See you shortly. Right viewers, a bit windy out today, so I don't know how much you're going to catch of this, but I've made a start on repairing that bodywork now. I'm going to try and get this watertight while it's dry. That's been a joker lately. I'm going to try and get it watertight. Now I've took this corner bit off there. That were mounted on there. I've drilled spot welds out on it there, and that's left me that panel which needs cleaning up because it's a bit rusty. I'm going to fit that quarter. Now I can't emphasise enough how badly this were attempted to be restored. They just cut far too high. Absolutely, that wind's getting up again. Absolutely no reason to go that high up. I mean, the panel they cut out here, I actually took to the scrapyard well, took it to the tip, but they only needed to cut that high. They've cut right up here because that's what a full panel is, but it just makes it so hard to line up and get back in. I've done best I can with that panel. I've only held it in with TEG screws at the moment. I've got one there, one there, one there. So it's not. I've not made it easy for myself, because trying to get that to line up still needs a bit of fettling. I've sorted the bottom quarter out. That's in here somewhere. There it is. Oh, put some lights on in a bit. Right. That corner, I'll just sit you down there for now, if I can find a nice spot for you. This corner, just going to sit on there. Like I say, still got some fettling to do. That's got to come up a bit because they don't line up. That's in right position. I've measured it with other side, so that's right. But that's got to come up, so I've got to trim a tiny bit more off of there to make that fit. Now this panel come with van, and it were absolutely terrible. It were an awful panel. But I've made it fit as best I can. This one I've had to buy from Schofield's in Glossop, and I've used these panels before and they're absolutely great. They're not cheapest on market, but they're a good fit, and thickness at metal's better and everything. There is a, where have I put it now? There's another bit what goes on there which come with van. It's that bit. It's that bit. I've got two of them, one for each side. Let's see if I can find it. I'm going to open this door now and all the panels are going to fall off. Right. So that's the panel that's going to go on there. So that'll finish this quarter. That's got to go in, and then we should be somewhat like watertight. I'm still going to have to make all inner wheel arches because they were all chopped out, and obviously they were chopped out because they were rotten. So I've got quite a bit of work ahead of me. It's pointless leaving camera on because it's windy as hell and you're just not going to hear out. So I'm going to crack on with this now, and I'll bring you back when I get to something halfway interesting. Right, see you shortly. Well viewers, I finally got that all that side finally welded in. It's been a challenge. What with weather, we've had wind, you probably hear it now, it's blowing a gale, which is the last thing you want when you're welding because it blows all your shield away. But we managed to get all that welded in. Still got a couple of TEG screws holding that in, and that's just holding that panel in where I've put I can never remember what they call it. It's panel bond. When you put panel adhesive in, I've put that in there in 3 places, and I'm just waiting for that to go off. So I've left them screws in, 3 screws, until panel adhesive goes off. Then I'll pull them out and I'll just stick a little weld on them. But I'm really pleased that it's come out. I managed to get all this lined up. I don't know if you can see, but all them's lining up. That bottom one isn't far out, but they were made from different manufacturers, so they weren't exactly spot on, but I'm sure nobody's going to get down on their hands and knees and check that gap. Got it all welded in down there, spot welded in down there. Wants seam sealing, but I've chucked a bit of grey primer on because obviously weather's not going to get any better from now on in, so I need to protect as I work. So I would say we've more or less got this side done, but we haven't, because this seatbelt anchor, which is extremely ugly, you can see down there, you can see right through. So that one's straightening. I have got one in here somewhere. Well, it is in here anyway somewhere. But yeah, I'm going to chuck sliding door on now, and I'm hoping that that body moulding lines up with sliding door, because I lined it up as best I could, took door off because you need to, and once door's off, you've got no witness marks to work to. So I'll chuck that sliding door on now, and we'll hope that that line lines up. But other than that, it's been quite a productive weekend. Like I said, people think you can rattle these buses out in no time. It's just not happening. Like I said, altogether up to now, just sorting that out, I would say there's 10 hours work there. I did 6 hours yesterday, 4 hours today, and it's still not done because all inner wheel arch wants rebuilding, but that's for another day. Right, let me stick that sliding door on and see how it went on lining them swage marks up. See you later. Right, stuck that sliding door on. I've got to say, I'm really pleased that it's come out. That swage line, absolutely spot on. Really pleased with that. And that gap all the way down there, it's same top to bottom. So yeah, all in all, not a bad weekend's work. So we should just about be waterproof now. I wanted to get all this done before weather turned, because we've had a ropey summer. I should be miles ahead. with where I am now, but what can you do? We can't order weather, but things are coming on nicely. That's worst part of welding done. That sliding door runner, that were something which is an absolute nightmare to do, and making best of this, because bloke who'd had it before me, he cut it out in worst possible place. He couldn't have cut it out in a worst possible place, and he didn't do me any favours at all. But it's there, it's done now. So hopefully, well, I try not to look at that side, I'll pretend we haven't seen that. So hopefully my diesel pump should be back one day this week coming, and I'd like to get that on and get this engine running, because I'm spending all this time welding it up and we don't even know if the engine's any good yet. Right, I'm going to call this an end to video 6. I'm sorry it's been a bit poor. It's not I haven't been able to show you me welding up because it's either been blowing a gale or it's been chucking down with rain. I've been dodging in and out of weather, but right, I'm waffling now again. So right, thanks for watching, thanks for sticking with me, and I'll see you in the next video. See you later, fellas.